software development is a terrible word. I find the word software development to be quite boring. Software development, if you look at the etymology of the word, it's actually quite nice. Software being the opposite of hardware, which is has various roots, and then development actually means to bring about something that inspires you to actually create something and to improve on things. But when I think about software development specifically, it's so much more exciting to me than what we say. Like, you're hanging out with your friends. They're like, "What do you do?" "Oh, I'm a software developer." I mean, come on, it's so boring. But you're literally, it's a craft, like woodworking or any of the other crafts that we've built up over the years. You're saying that there's something in life that doesn't exist that I want to exist, and we have the power and the empowerment to make that exist in the world, to do good, evil, to better people's lives, to make people's life worse. We have the ability to create something from scratch. And to me, that is very powerful. With software developers in general, I think there's kind of two things that we want to embody. On one hand, we want to be able to, like anybody, enjoy ourselves, enjoy life, enjoy the things that we create. And on the other hand, we want to work quickly and innovate and pioneer. I mean, this is what technology and software development is all about, right? We're not sitting around in our laurels all day. We're sitting around and we're moving and doing things. And I think that one of the binding factors between combining those two things in an effective way is passion. You find a software developer, you find a software hacker who, and by hacker I mean in the traditional development sense, not the more modern hacking into a thing. Like if you find a software hacker, which normally means somebody who's passionate about their work, then that's what comes up with this combination of somebody who can chill and can hurry up at the same time. And when you find somebody like that, it's a beautiful thing. It's an amazing thing to watch somebody like that work. Just like it's an amazing thing to watch somebody in any industry work in that fashion. One of the things that I find very, very interesting and what we focus a lot on at Twitter is what I call constraint-driven development. And this means being forced to develop something under a set of boundaries that either you or your medium has kind of put up in front of you. And I really think this leads to innovation in a lot of different ways. With us, it was the text message. When the first release of Twitter that we put out was text only. And that's because the concept originally devised by Jack Dorsey was that he wanted to be able to send short status messages about his life, which he actually took from IM, because at the time, the little IM messages were really popular. They would put your away message and you would say what you're doing, but you could only do that in front of a computer. So he wanted to be able to take this elsewhere and say, "Oh, I'm at the park hanging out with my dog," or "Oh, I'm doing this or that." So he came up with this concept of doing the same status messages that you do on IM, but doing them in text messages. And so this was one of the first constraints to our development. And over time, it's been hard, it's been painful, and we actually, time shift. I don't know if I can announce this yet. We're announcing today the number of SMSs that we do a month on our blog, which the number is actually staggering. And SMS is still one of the primary forms of communication in almost anywhere in the world, especially outside the United States. SMS is huge, so it's still very much a staple for us. And so it's important that things like this work. It's important that no matter how much we develop interfaces around Twitter or interfaces around any of our communications mediums, I should still be able to send a simple one-line command to my phone and have that broadcast and consumed by what we want, which is everybody in the world or everybody who finds utility in this. One great example of software constraint, and I actually used this in a talk I did in FOA in London last year, is Tweety2, who we just acquired Tweety, and Lauren, who's a fantastic developer, used to work for Apple, amazing pioneer in software development. And so what he did here with Tweety 2, and I love this, he said, I'm going to reply to somebody's message, right? But I don't have screen real estate, and I want to reply to the message, but I don't know the context of the message that I'm in, even if it's short. It's 140 characters, so you can normally remember that. But maybe it's something that you might need to have a refresher about if you want to reply to the details of their conversation. So what he did was this, and you just got to see this. This is amazing. He took the text area of your iPhone text input box. Some of you have probably seen this because this has been out for a while. I demoed this first when the app wasn't out yet. You can... I should play a video here if I do this little thing. Oh, nope. Wait. Nope. Okay, it looks like this did not import properly. That's too bad because it's brilliant. You can actually, what you do is you pull down on the text area and it reveals the message as it slides down, and you can see the message you're replying to in real time, and then just springs back up and you can continue typing on it. And just seeing it, like that's just like such a subtle and beautiful thing. That's kind of the essence of taking a medium where you're constrained and really innovating on that area. The other thing that we do is we're really big into social development. So when we often almost always work in pairs. We find that if you take two people and put them on one problem, the benefits are almost unimaginable and undescribable. You have two people, like the energy in our office is just always just like going and going. You have two people sitting in front of a computer. You have one computer with two keyboards and two mice hooked up to one computer, and you've got two brilliant people who could probably be doing more work faster on different projects, but you're talking and you're bouncing ideas off each other. And you're saying, oh, does this look good? Oh, what about this? Can we do this? You're architecting things, and that brings out that passion in developers, and it gets people. I've had so many people say, oh, I don't want to pair. Like, this is not something I want to do. I want to go off and work on my own because that's what I'm used to. But now, like the same person, like one person that's been in the office this last week is like, when can I pair? Like, who's available? Who can sit down and look at this thing that I've created with me and say what they think about it? Is it good? Is it bad? Etc. And then this is just an example. We recently had our Chirp conference, and you can just see this. This was actually an entire warehouse of people sitting around working together to create things that they find beautiful. Another thing that's fairly new to the way we want to develop, and we've kind of come up with this term we're using internally a lot now, which is frictionless blank. We kind of use it for everything. It's getting a little bit overloaded, but one of the things we're focusing on right now is frictionless development. How can we make the development process less cumbersome for ourselves, for our users? We're very much advocates of consuming our own product and technology. The Twitter.com website internally, which I work on, is called the web client, because we truly consider our web interface to be a client to Twitter.com, the platform, as much as any other interface. And so if that's true, then the tools we develop for ourselves need to be the same tools that we develop for the community. That's why at Chirp, we announced the Anywhere.js API, which is our JavaScript API to do the same things that we do, to use the same technologies that we're using to build Twitter.com, and anybody can do it just by grabbing this and doing it themselves. Other people have done it. There's great companies like Brizzly and Seismic Desktop and many others that have done these sorts of things and innovated on top of us. I mean, there's many that are better than Twitter.com right now for various applications. This is an example of frictionless development in my mind. This is just absolutely gorgeous. Todd and my friend Dan worked on this. Like, this is fucking beautiful. So here, you've got a JavaScript file you're including, and a lot of times when you're working with software, you version your software, right? Because you have like a version 1 of something, and then you spend time on it and it works. And then there's a hot, like sexy new version that you want to use, but you can't use the sexy new version because your old one is really, you've modified it and you're depending on it, and so you're stuck in this middle ground, and that's friction, that's stuff that doesn't let you get your shit done during the day. So what Todd and Dan did was said, fuck that. What we're going to do is allow you to actually, within a single JavaScript call in one block, actually reference which version of our API that you pull down. And this is seamless, and not only does it not have a great overhead, which you would imagine, it actually pulls down the files that you need for that particular version in real time as you're working on it. So these are the sort of things that we're working on for Twitter.com, but we're not just keeping them to ourselves. We're saying everybody should have these things. If you want to make a better client than ours, do it. We'll buy you. No, just joking. Everybody can make a client. We love the ecosystem. The platform is the key. Twitter.com is a way to get people in the door, but the platform is the key, and we want to provide for people in that way. I don't have a timer up here, so I don't know how much time I have left exactly, but I have some other things that I want to go over that are things that are particularly passionate to me. So these are just some things that I was thinking about as I was putting together this presentation, that like, man, these are things that are really exciting to me right now, and maybe you can see some of these things that might be exciting to you if you're in this particular field. If not, I would just say, look and find these things for yourself, right? Because they're out there. These are like I was looking over my email over the last couple of days and saying like, oh, here's some stuff that I found recently that I can get really excited about. V8, oh my God. V8 is Google's new JavaScript engine that they're building for Chrome. And they've got the guys that worked on Self. I don't know if you know the Self language from back in the day, but Self is like, they kind of pioneered like the down and dirty bits of how you do lower level VM programming. And those guys then went and worked for Sun for a while, and then Google bought them back, and now they're working on V8. And so JavaScript we think of as a slow kind of thing because it's in the browser, but they're making it, because of the constraint of putting it in the browser, they're making it fast, really fast. And so with V8, now because it's running fast in the browser on your shitty Dell laptop, what they're allowing you to do is stuff like this. Node.js, which is a server, an application server that you can run, and you can actually replace these huge monolithic stacks, these application servers, like if you look at Apache, you could replace Apache with a couple lines of JavaScript and Node.js, and it's fast. Avi Bryant recently wrote a Smalltalk, which is a language from the 80s. He wrote a Smalltalk VM on V8 that can run on your browser or just on your computer. Smalltalk is a beautiful, fast language where a lot of the guys that originally worked on Self went and moved on to work for. They worked on Smalltalk. And now this is another language that's running completely on JavaScript, a thing that so many of us have come to develop passions and skill sets for in web development. And now it's becoming this beautiful thing that's kind of overflowing into other areas. It's absolutely fantastic. New, this is the thing I see whenever there's a new feature on Google. I get a little excited and do like a little happy dance every time I see a new feature on Google, because that's what we care about, right? Like as a software developer, I care about seeing what other people are developing in software. I don't care that I can fucking check my email. I hate checking my email, but I love seeing that new thing, right? That's fantastic to me. This is the face I made when I was also doing Movember, which is a charity for shaving and growing a mustache. Terrible. And this is what I did when I saw that the browser cache is actually only 32 megs for your asset caching. Your asset cache is where you download all your images and JavaScript files and bits that need, like the website needs to run, and it stores them on your computer, so when you reload your Facebook, it's super fast, right? So we've been meeting and we've been saying, like, why are these things being evicted from the cache? Why are they jumping out quicker than we think they are? Well, it turns out that this is the face that I made when I found out that watching the latest Justin Bieber video on YouTube stores the goddamn, wait, flip this. This stores 16 megs to your asset cache. That's 16 megs out of the 32 megs. That's not namespace. That's for every website I browse. So 2 Justin Bieber videos is completely kicking out all of my cache that the developers work so hard to maintain. So we're doing these huge hacks to get around this fact. And hopefully we're meeting with browser vendors to try to consolidate some of these huge problems. I mean, 32 megs. people browse the web. It's a primary thing that we do, and we're dedicating 32 megs of our entire hard drive to optimizing our websites right now. This is true across Chrome. This is true across Safari. This is true across Firefox. This example is particularly from Firefox. Chrome does like 1% of your entire hard drive. I mean, give me a fucking break. And that's ridiculous. Zoe doesn't care. She loves Bieber. Yeah. She doesn't care. This is the face of a guy who wrote this little bit of beautiful code, which is a Python script that takes Git, which is a way to manage your software. It's like SVN, or it's a version control system, so you keep your code in track. And when two people work on things and they merge them together and it breaks, he wrote a script to take a screenshot of his face every time his software breaks. And then it uploads it to TwitPic, so it uploads it online. It's just fucking fantastic. And we're gonna, I'm trying to get this installed on every laptop of everybody at twitter.com. So we get a collection of these things, because it's just, I mean, that's passion. Like, this guy wrote this script to take a picture of his like painful face every time his stuff breaks. This is a 2.5-year-old. I don't know if you've seen this YouTube video. This is a 2.5-year-old using the iPad. It's brilliant. It's about 3 minutes. I would have played it, or actually I think it's 5 minutes, because I would have played it, but she's scrolling around, and she's been handed to her for the first time, and she's swiping it, and she's like, I want the tiger app, Daddy. I want the tiger app, Daddy. And he says, well, click on the tiger, and she clicks on the tiger, and the app comes up, and and she's using this stuff, and like, this is the kind of thing that, like, a lot of people were like, oh, the iPad isn't revolutionizing the world like I thought it would be. Fuck that, it is. That's amazing. I do see a timer. This is a speedometer. Actually, this is from a Japanese company that I thought, I tried to find the images for, but it's a digital speedometer. This is my rendering of it on my iPad. 36, we're really bad with numbers. You cutting me off? Okay, so 36, like, we're really bad with numbers. So what this Japanese company did was they made a digital speedometer that looked exactly like a real speedometer. They colored in the area that represented the best miles per gallon, because we don't know what 36 is. Is it good or bad or whatnot? And then they made the needle bend when you went out of the actual range, and people hate that. Like, that's just wrong. Like, they don't give a fuck what the green means. They just want to get back in it, because this needle shouldn't be bending out this way. This is a pair of headphones I bought the other day. They have a jack inside of them that allows other people to chain their headphones into your headphones, so you can all listen to the same iPod all around the room. And this is a picture of about 9 of us in the office with our one iPhone chained together. This is my old alarm clock. It's the helicopter. I smashed it. This is my last old alarm clock. It rolled around the room and made noise. I smashed that one. This is my current alarm clock. It is an iPhone app that I set next to me, and it tracks my sleep cycle and tells me when I should wake up. I haven't smashed my iPhone yet. I love people who release APIs to their software. I love people who are not afraid of being optimistic. This is a quote by Lars, who did Google Wave. He said, I've been accused of being pathologically optimistic about it. Give me a fucking break. Like, since when did, we've all said, oh, that guy's too excited, and like, when did this become a negative thing in our society? And then finally, I'd just like to give a quick shout out to this collection of University of Kentucky professors, in particular, one that was very dear to me. His name was Yurik Uramchik, and he was my first algorithms teacher here at UK. And I remember very distinctly the first day I had his class, and he hadn't said a word. He's this crazy Polish guy. He hadn't said a word the entire class, and he got down on one knee and in this deep Polish accent said, I love algorithms, to the whole class. And I was like, this guy's fucking nuts. And so I'd like to just end with the fact that software development may not be the sexiest word right now, but I love software development. Thank you very much.